welcome to another edition of Alexa's Country Party. I'm Alexa, and today is Megan Patrick's birthday. It's also the release day of her new song, Never Giving Up on You, and I had the chance to sit down and chat with her all about it, so I hope you enjoy.
There we go. Hi.
Hi, Megan.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am great. It's a good day. It's my birthday. I got new music out. All good things.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday. You're actually the first person I've ever interviewed. And that was
Really?
exactly 5 years ago, yeah. And
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
I've talked to you since, so it's a great day for me too.
Love it.
So besides doing all these interviews today, what are you doing to celebrate?
Well, yeah, a lot of interviews, and then I'm probably just gonna go and have a little happy hour with some of my friends, and I'm gonna go golfing tomorrow. So yeah, I've got some fun things planned. Sorry, I'm just plugging in my ring light here. It's low on battery.
So your new song, Never Giving Up on You, was released today. Tell me, how did this song come to be? The lyrics are pretty unique, and it's a song that I find was very it feels familiar, but because your voice is so unique, it really makes it your own.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, musically, it's got a little bit of like a kind of throwback vibe, which was kind of what I envisioned for this song. And, you know, as far as the lyrics go, you know, I'm happy to be able to put this song out now because I feel like it's really relevant to just what my experience has been over the last year. And I think probably for a lot of other people too. I mean, you know, Mitchell and I, when we first started dating, it was like we were on the road all the time and we were busy and we were gone. And, you know, we got pretty good at navigating that lifestyle. And then, you know, before the pandemic hit, you know, we both had huge years planned out with touring and everything for last year. And then all of a sudden pandemic hit and everything was just taken away. And we had no idea when it was coming back or anything like that. And so, you know, we both were individually struggling with that and stressed out and depressed and anxious about money and our jobs and all this stuff. And on top of that, couldn't leave the house. You know, we were on top of each other 24/7, which was also new for us. And, you know, it was tough, but at the end of the day, you know, we just woke up every day and we chose each other. We chose to fight for each other and fight for the relationship and not give up on each other. And, you know, I think we came out on the other side of this so much stronger. And, you know, I think for me, it really is my first experience of what true love really is continuing to choose that person every day and not give up on them, even when it is tough. And it has been very tough. You know, we have navigated so many difficult things, you know, loss of income, loss of our jobs, you know, the stress of the pandemic itself and people's health. Mitchell lost his uncle to COVID last year. And, you know, so it's been, and I haven't seen my family in a year, which is, I've never gone this long without seeing my family. You know, family is super important to me and I'm really close with them. And so it's been a lot to deal with individually, but we've figured out how to be there for each other and keep moving forward. And we've also had to figure that out in the spectrum of our careers as well, you know, so that, hi, Annie, here's my dog, you know, because I also feel like I've had to fight harder for my career and my music more than ever this past year with, you know, live shows and everything being taken away. That was like my bread and butter. You know, it's how I connected with my fans. It's how I promoted my music. And I had to find new ways to keep doing that, which mostly was a lot through social media. And I hate social media. So, you know, it was tough. But again, it was the same thing. You know, when I would get really frustrated, I'd ask myself, like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to quit? And the answer is always no. You know, I'm never going to quit. So, yeah, I just think the song is really relevant to so many things that I've experienced in the last year. And I think a lot of other people will relate to in terms of their relationships and their jobs and their careers as well.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got the whole added aspect of not being in like the same country like your parents. You can't even just go see your parents. Like, you're still young and, you know, you want to go home and see your friends up here and everything like that too. So that's been a real change, and being this close with Mitchell for so long. And
yeah,
but through all of that, you know, you wrote a love song from it, which is,
I did. Yeah.
and not a real sappy one. It's still fun too. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a Ninja Turtles reference in it, so.
exactly, I was just gonna say that. That is definitely unique. Definitely grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
What is one of your favorite lyrics besides the Ninja Turtle ones? Like what did that mean to you even? Maybe if it was a Ninja Turtle
Got a
one.
lot of things I can't get enough of, more than a few that I should give up, but only one obsession that's forever bulletproof. Never giving up on you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What was it like when you wrote this song? Did you do it all at once or little bits and pieces here and there?
This one happened pretty quickly. I had the idea, like I had the hook already going into the session. And, once we figured out how to frame it and how to approach it, it came out pretty quickly, because it's so like kind of autobiographical and so real. It wasn't difficult to kind of put the pieces together. It just kind of like came out really quickly, like stream of consciousness. I just started throwing all these things out, once we decided, okay, let's approach it like this. Let's talk about some of the things that you've become really obsessed with, things that you thought were it for you. And then you kind of like moved on from it, and that was how we approached it, especially in that first verse, especially for me in music. Like I was in a bluegrass band. I also, before that, I was in a 10-piece funk band. And in the moment, that was where I was at. That was the phase I was in. And that was the music I was obsessed with. I mean, at the end of the day, I just love music in general. And I've loved so many genres, but when I came into country music, it was the first one that really felt like home, like that felt like this is where I belong, especially. And I think a big part of that for me was actually the fan base. I just love the fans. The country music fans were so awesome. And I think my first experience on a large scale with that was Boots and Hearts. When I played the very first year that Boots and Hearts started, that was my first exposure to the country fans. And I just remember being like, these are my people. These are the people I want to write songs for. And these are the people I want to sing to. This is the people I want to see in the audience. And so that was a big part of why I fell in love with the genre as well.
Mm-hmm. I know you're a big outdoorsy person, hunting, fishing, golfing, probably more
Yep.
than naming. Do you ever do any writing outside?
Yeah. I mean, if it's nice out, I would love to
Go
be.
sit outside with the dogs and start writing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, unfortunately, the past year, a lot of my writing has been over Zoom because of the pandemic. But yeah, I mean, I think I have a few friends that I write with, and we'll write it at someone's house instead of like at our publisher or whatever, and we'll try and sit on the patio. It's always nice to get a little sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah. And you and Mitchell actually, before the pandemic, not too many months, I don't think before that, People Magazine actually did a feature on the two of you. What was that experience like?
They did. Oh, maybe. Well, it was probably more through Mitchell, and I guess they probably talked about us. Actually, I do remember that now because his manager had asked for some pictures of us. I mean, I wasn't really part of the interviewing process or anything. That was more Mitchell's deal, but I was just sort of part of the story, I guess. But yeah, that was pretty cool. It's weird to me to think that like we're like a celebrity couple, you know?
Yeah. That's funny. So with both of you guys having, similar careers, pursuing the same thing, have you guys learned anything from each other, like musically?
Definitely. I mean, I think for me, I've learned a lot from Mitchell about sort of the business side of things, and just, how to navigate Nashville. He's born and raised here, so he's been here his whole life. And he's also kind of been in the music world his whole life. His grandmother, Donna Hilley, used to run Sony ATV back in the day. And she's kind of like a pretty iconic, legendary, figure in music here in Nashville, especially in a time when women were not really in positions of power like she was. So she was a pretty big deal. And he learned a lot from her. She was a big mentor for him. And so he's helped me a lot, on the business side of things. And I think, and I may be taking a little bit of a liberty here speaking for him, but he's said it in different ways before. I think because he's been in this industry so long, he can have the tendency to be a little bit more jaded sometimes. And I think that when it gets that way, it's hard because it can make you lose the passion a little bit. But for me, I'm kind of like the starry-eyed newcomer fresh off the bus in Nashville, like, oh my God, everything is so amazing, and so I think I've helped him I think him watching me have this experience and find my place here in Nashville, and you know, writing songs and meeting new songwriters and getting excited about music, I think it helps him to get more connected with the music and the passion side, because he is very smart in business. And you know, the downside of that is sometimes he thinks of everything from a business place, whereas I think of everything from an artist place. So I think we really help balance each other out in that way.
That's really nice. So mixing it up a little here, before the pandemic started, you were just finishing up a tour with Sons of Daughters. And also on that tour, you had a little character named Chubbs.
Yeah.
How did Chubbs come to be, and will he be on the next tour?
Oh, absolutely. I think Jordan might have him still right now, because when I left Canada, I didn't have like a case or anything to travel with him. And believe it or not, my managers actually got me a legit road case for Chubbs. So yeah, no, he will definitely be back out with me when I'm on tour. I'm just a weird person. I love like thrift shops and stuff. So whenever I'm in a new place, if there's any like thrift stores or anything around, I usually like to go in and just browse, because you never know, you find some cool stuff, or sometimes I find cool clothes to wear on stage or whatever. And I don't know, for whatever reason that day I walked in and there he was just sitting there in the display case. And I was like, is this guy for sale, or is he like part of the store? And the girl was like, she's like, I don't know, I'll call the owner and see what they say. And so they told me that they would sell him to me. So I can't really explain why. Something said I had to buy him. So I had him. I was like, he's going to be our stage buddy. He's going to come on stage. And I remember I called my managers and I was like, I bought a gator. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, not a real one. He's dead. He's been dead a long time. And they're just like, why does that not surprise me about you?
It's funny. You mentioned fashion a little bit. I wanted to also ask you, you have a lot of killer cowgirl boots. Are they something that you scope out yourself, or do you have a stylist, or do you have collaboration? Like, it's always pretty cool, your boots.
Thank you. A little bit of both. I mean, the stylist that I've been using now for the last couple of years, she is pretty amazing at seeking out awesome boots. A lot of the cool boots I've had, like in my videos or even stuff on the red carpet lately, has probably been something that she's found. But I also am like a full-on boot addict. So I'm always looking and searching for cool boots. I'm like running out of space right now in my closet.
Yeah, it's like your signature thing. Everyone knows Megan and her boots.
Yep, that's it. Well, it's funny because Mitchell is a total sneakerhead. He is obsessed with sneakers and like Jordans and like high tops and stuff. So he can't say anything about my boot addiction because he has an entire room of sneakers. So it's kind of funny. We both have that tendency.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, it was so nice chatting with you. Hope you have a great rest of your birthday. I'm excited to see where this song takes you and what you've got in store for us next.
Absolutely. My pleasure. It's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Hope to see you soon in person.
Yes, I hope so.
Alrighty.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.